Imagine being on the edge of pursuing your dreams and your goals, and you're excited, you're motivated, you're inspired. And the first people that you tell, your friends, your family, your coworkers, they all start talking in your ear and telling you it's ridiculous. You can't do it. Oh, this is a horrible idea. What were you thinking? All of a sudden, all these doubts start creeping in because the people who you feel know you, love you, and appreciate you are now giving you this bad vibe. And a lot of people fall victim to this type of low frequency input from people that aren't living their own dreams, people that haven't achieved virtually anything major in life. We take their opinions wholeheartedly as if they have real value. Often, people we love the most unknowingly plant seeds of doubt inside of us. Sometimes the people that we think love us plant seeds of doubt because they don't truly love us. Some of the closest people to you don't truly love you. And that's a fact. I've been through that before in my life several times. And so sometimes it's out of malice, but sometimes it's not out of malice. And you have to understand that opinions are the cheapest commodity in the world. And the people who are closest to you will give out those opinions for free, like hotcakes on the corner. And so all of a sudden, you're taking this negative input. You go in so excited, so pumped up, so enthralled. Oh my God, I got this great idea. Oh, I'm going to build this business. Oh, I'm going to make this investment, whatever it is. And all of a sudden, here they come, bop, 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 talking in both ears simultaneously, sending you a low frequency, a low vibration to tear your dreams down, to rip and shred your ideas and concepts, to destroy everything that you want to build from a conscious perspective. In their mind, they might be protecting you, or there's also something else at play. I call it the Agent Smith effect. The Agent Smith effect is when, like in the Matrix, a person can be their normal self until you bring up something like escaping the Matrix, building your own business, manifesting abundance, getting a dream car, a dream house, right? Whatever it is, going on extravagant vacations to exotic places. All of a sudden, zoop, Agent Smith pops into their body, right? He inhabits them. And then what happens? They start coming at you, trying to talk you out of everything you've been excited about. That's what they do. And unfortunately, a lot of people fall victim to this. They will literally give up on their hopes, their dreams, their goals, everything. They'll drop it because of unpopular opinion from people around them that have basically just barely achieved anything in their lives, if anything at all. This I see all too much. It's everywhere. Everywhere I look, I see it a lot. It's one of the biggest reasons why people aren't manifesting and living their best life. People get into a comfort zone. Friends and family, they have this mindset or concept of stability over growth. So as soon as you want to break through that stability and go for growth, they want to come and grab you and pull you back into stability. This is because people will want you to live the life that they want to live. People will want you to eat the way that they want to eat. People will want you to season your food the way they want you to season, the way they want to season their own food. I'll give you an example. I was at a restaurant a few years ago, and this has happened to me several times. This is like a great experiment. I never put ice in my water because I don't trust the ice machines. I want a bottle of water, still, and a glass bottle, preferably. Sometimes it's only plastic, I know. I don't want to, if I do pour it into a glass, I do not want any ice because I don't trust the ice machine, the cleanliness of it, and even the water source. That's why I ordered bottled water. And I only like room temperature water anyway, so it's not a big deal. The waitress was adamant about me getting ice. She was adamant about me getting this ice. She said, "Ma'am, I really don't even need a glass today. I'll just drink out of the bottle." She's like, I'm gonna bring you some ice just in case. I was like, I won't need the ice. Don't worry about it. It's an extra step for you. You can just don't bring me any ice. The woman goes and brings me a gigantic glass full of ice from the bottom to the top. And you couldn't fit one more ice cube in it. Brings the bottle of water and tells me, I brought you the ice anyway, just in case. Now, why did she do that? She wasn't trying to hurt me. She was trying to help me, but also she was living through me, but through her own perspective, her own perception of how she would drink that water. She likes water with a lot of ice in it. She likes ice cold water with ice in it. That's what she liked. She didn't have to tell me that. I can see that clearly by her fighting for what she thought I would want to eat. Another time I went to a restaurant and I ordered, I believe it was a hamburger. And the hamburger comes with all these, secret sauces, and I'm not into all those sauces. I just started, entering back into eating meat and getting over the texture problem. That was the only reason why I didn't eat meat, because I was a texture. But I realized that my body needed it because I started getting very sick. That's a whole other podcast. Either way, I asked the waitress to please do not put the sauce. I don't need the sauce. Just bring me a burger, lettuce, tomato, and some pickles. No cheese, no bacon, no onions, no salt, no special sauces. Okay. The hamburger comes out. She's got all the sauces on it. I was like, ma'am, she said, you got to try these sauces. They're great. I said, ma'am, I appreciate you looking out for me, wanting me to experience something. However, I'm not a sauce person. So if you can, please have them remake this and just give me a lettuce, tomato, pickles, a medium well hamburger on a bun. She goes back. She comes back about 10, 15 minutes later. She brings the hamburger to the table and she has all the sides, all the sauces. She's got the onions. She has the bacon. She has the cheese on the side. I'm like, I'm not going to put that on this burger. Why'd you bring it? Just in case you want to see what it tastes like. Again, her perspective, her mind, her taste, her, what she actually would want and would love to eat. Again, trying to live through me, but wanting it to be the way that she would like it to be, basically. The way she would love it, the way she would eat it and taste it and everything else. And so this is just a very plain example of how people broadcast their desires on us to the point where they try to mold us and change us to something that they want to be. I see this all the time since I've been posting online, for years, and making, polarizing content and viral content. People will have opposing opinions or alternative opinions, and they'll be very adamant they'll comment very adamantly about how I didn't say this or that, or they want me to say this, or they want me to cover that, and how come I didn't say this about this? And what's happening there is people want their opinions to come out of my mouth. And their opinions will never come out of my mouth because I'm not a person that just bends to everyone's will. It just was never my thing. Some people would have actually considered making some changes, making some adjustments, adding some content or looking into something that somebody commented about and trying to see how they can work it in. I just really don't care. I mean, just it's what it is. I'm going to do things the way that I do them. I'm going to cover information that I feel is valid and important. And if I get around to something else, somebody else wants me to cover, it's not because they told me to, it's because I finally got around to it. Or I probably covered it in the past and they just didn't see it. Again, these are other people's outside opinions they're trying to process through you. So when you say something like, I've got a great idea for a new business, I'm going to build a such and such and such. And then somebody close to you goes, oh man, they already did that. Why would you want to get in competition with so-and-so? Because, that ain't going to work because they got millions of dollars and you don't have any money. Now they just sliced right into you, right? They gave you a gashing wound in your ego and your spirit and your consciousness and your confidence. You have the ability to allow that knife that they're swinging at you to go right through you, and you can go right through you, and you'll be unscathed. Nothing, not even a nick. Or you can tense up consciously and spiritually and feel that thing just slicing through your body, slicing through your ego, slicing through your confidence, and you can let it wound you, and you can feel wounded and hurt to where you go, you know what? Maybe I should rethink this, or maybe I'll revisit this later, or maybe this is dumb. How am I going to compete against X company? This is what happens to a lot of people, when it comes to really trying to manifest their dreams and their goals. It's it's a lot of generational programming. Advice often comes from outdated mindsets, a lack of abundant mindset, a scarcity mindset, lack of opportunity mindsets. Those are all the mindsets of our the people that are around us, mostly because it's been handed down to them as well. Going back to the Great Depression, slavery, different wars, World War I and II, Vietnamese War, the Iraq War, all these different things have traumatized the people around us and their ancestors or the people before them. And we are now still expressing, or they're still expressing all of these deficiencies, right? No matter what you're talking about, they're still expressing them, and they're trying to impose them on you because that's the programming code inside of them speaking out. That's the Agent Smith effect. It's inhabited their body, and now they are literally living on pure matrix code, right? And the matrix itself is designed to stop you from breaking free. And so now you have to realize that human beings on this planet are the prisoners, and we are also the prison guards. When you realize that, a lot of your questions will be answered. When you finally come to terms with the fact that we are the prisoners and the prison guards, you're going to be like, oh, I see now. This is why they did this. This is why they did that. This is why they're trying to stop me from doing what I want to do and living my best life. Because they are literally the prison guards, but they're also the prisoners in the matrix with us. And it's our job to break free from that, and to break free from that code, the code of scarcity, the code of lack of abundance, the code of there's not enough. There's no way you can compete against anybody. That's a lack of abundance mindset. It's always collaboration over competition. If you take the collaboration mindset, competition disappears. iPhones. iPhone is not made by the Apple programmers alone. iPhones are made by several different manufacturers, including their number one competitor, Samsung. Samsung makes the iPhone screens and some of the iPhone electronics. Yeah, Samsung, Android. Why did they do that? Because they realized if we collaborate, we can make 10 times the amount of money together. We'll give them the illusion that we're at odds in marketing, but behind the scenes, we're the best of buddies. You see? This is what you have to understand. When you get the mindset of understanding that there's a lot of bitterness in relationships, there's a lot of envy in relationships, there's a lot of backstabbing in relationships, and this is friends, family, co-workers, right? There's a lot of people secretly hating on you that you don't even know that they're haters. You haven't been able to detect it yet because they haven't exposed. Their mask has not fallen off yet. But the mask won't stay on forever. As long as you try to grow outside of their limitations, oh, trust me, the mask is coming off. And you're going to see one of the most ugly creatures you've ever seen in your life exposed as a spiritual being. You're going to see the ugliness of that person, and you'll realize, oh, I see. Yeah, this is a secret hater. This is a secret envious person just hiding in the wings, waiting to try to pull me down this whole time. It happens. They're all around you, and they're waiting for you to spring up and try to spring out of this matrix. Is the advice that they're giving you based on their fear or your best interest? Because sometimes advice could be in your best interest, like don't drink and drive. Well, that's in your best interest, right? You know, I mean, don't drink and drive. Okay. You know, um, don't abuse your spouse. That's in your best interest. There's some advice you can take, but then there's other advice that if you're looking to grow and they're trying to stop you from experiencing that growth, well, that's not good advice. It's not good advice at all. Don't get mad at them. Don't get angry with them. Don't attack them. Don't yell at them or curse them out. Just say, thank you for your opinion. I appreciate it. I'll consider that, and move on and do what you got to do. I will consider that. That's your answer. That's your response to them. You see, you have to filter the feedback. Also, you got to realize, has this person ever achieved anything other than working for like 30 years at a company to get a watch or a retirement check or social security check? Has this person achieved anything? They're just my age. They're younger than me. Well, let me look at them. Let's see what they've been able to accomplish. Oh, they went to school. They went to college for 4 years, got a degree, and now they are a cashier at the CVS pharmacy. Maybe I won't be taking that advice too seriously. A lot of the times, the people that you're around are not going to be around as you grow. You're going to outgrow those people. You'll see them, you'll visit them, you'll even talk to them occasionally. But that overwhelming, consistent communication and access is going to have to disappear, because you're going to have to put yourself around a new tribe. People are there that are there to inspire, motivate, to lift you up, to push your head up when it's down, to hold you accountable, and to tell you that you can achieve your dreams, that you can achieve anything you set your mind to do. That's why I started the Forbidden Knowledge Academy, to a place where we can all go, where we're all together in a location virtually, where we are uplifting and building together, versus all of us being separate individuals, not connected to any one source area where we can grow together and look around us and see nobody has our backs. I remember my oldest son's mother. We were together back in the early 90s. Man, I'm getting up there in age now. Wow, because he's 34. But anyway, we were together, and I learned about this .com thing, right? I realized that .com was going to be the next big thing. Mostly, I would say most houses didn't even have a computer yet at this time. Probably, I would say 80% of homes didn't have a computer. And I went out and bought a computer from Rent-A-Center. It was $19.95 a week. I started learning the programming code, HTML, ASP, PHP, JavaScript, C+. And I started experimenting with that, building websites, the very first websites. And I remember the software that I got to help teach me was Front Page 97 was the name of the software, I believe, Front Page 97. And I just knew in my heart of hearts that this was going to be the next big thing. I felt it in my core, you know. I had read the Hopi prophecy about the world being connected by this World Wide Web. And I said to myself back then, if I can live that long to when that happens, the whole world will hear my message. And I discovered that I had lived into the time frame at the very beginning stages of the WWW. And I saw the power and potential of it because an exchange student helped me build my first website. And that weekend, I sent out an email to a list of AOL members. I think the list cost me $60. It was 50,000 people. Pretty much that was a whole damn list. That was the whole company at the time, I think, damn near. And I got 4,000 people signed up for my discount healthcare program in one weekend. That's when I started going to the bookstore to learn to code myself, because my exchange student friend had to go back to Arabia. And I saw this was going to be the big wave. So I literally stopped everything else that I was doing. I focused 100% of my energy, hell, 110% of my energy into the internet. I started a company called .com Marketing Group, and I started selling websites by just calling out of the yellow pages. Now, my person at the time, I wasn't married at the time, but my person, my partner at the time, she wasn't having it. She was very upset. She was very pissed off. She felt like I was putting our family at risk. She felt like everything was gonna, we were gonna lose everything. She didn't see the vision. I tried to explain it. She couldn't conceive it. She didn't understand it. And consequently, it created this rift between us because I had the vision. I saw the future. I knew that it was going to happen. I knew it would be big. And she just couldn't grasp that. And so this rift got bigger and bigger as I started working this and going on appointments and closing deals. And now I'm bringing in money. The rift got larger and larger and larger. It turned from trying to talk me out of it, turned into anger, fear, doubt. And then when I started actually making money from it, it turned into envy and jealousy. And for some reason, this is the trend that happens when people are close to you. This seems to be the trend. I've gone through this now several times in different relationships. But again, this is somebody you say, oh, this person has my back, and this is going to be, they'll understand what I'm doing. And for some reason, a lot of the times, they just don't. Now, you'll have a very important decision to make. Will you keep going and fulfill your dream? Or will you drop that dream off, leave it in a corner, let it collect dust to satisfy someone else? Or maybe you love that person enough to where you'll do something like that. I mean, I've done that before. I've put things away for somebody before. I regretted it, but it's a regret you'll have to live with. So you'll have a tough decision to make at some point if you're in that situation, okay? If you're in that situation. But of course, as you know, I did not listen. I set out to achieve my goals and my dreams and my benchmarks. And I turned that startup into a multi-million-dollar company, which ended up getting acquired, then eventually got sold. And I took a nice big payday and I took 7 years off and spent all that time with my kids, teaching them, training them, started a basketball program. I got licensed and registered to coach AAU, USSSA. Eventually, I got licensed to coach the U.S. Junior Olympics and do youth development for U.S. Junior Olympics. And I volunteered at all my kids' schools. I volunteered coached. I volunteered in school, whatever it took. I just wanted to be around the kids. I spent so much time with those kids that their mother could spend every waking moment for the rest of her life, and she'd never catch up to the amount of time that I spent with the kids. That's how much time I spent with the kids. I was everywhere they turned, they saw my face. There wasn't a moment without me, pretty much. And I loved it. But I would have never been able to do that had I not decided to continue on and fulfill my dream and my goal. And that had a big part in me becoming forbidden knowledge, because the development and understanding of how the World Wide Web worked was how I was able to learn how to get my voice out and broadcast myself around the world without worrying about mainstream media and mainstream news, because I knew the mainstream would never take my voice. Now they will. I just was on CBS News a few weeks ago with Armstrong Williams. So now they'll take it. But back then, there was no way in the world that was going to happen. Now I'm on Travel Channel, History Channel, Discovery Channel, Science Channel, Discovery Plus, CBS. There's another channel I'm on. I forget the name of it. Now I'm on all these channels now. All right. History Channel. So, but the thing is, none of that would have happened had I acquiesced and gave up on everything. Right. And so you have to listen to your inner self sometimes and figure out if that's what you want to do. Right. Now, in some cases, you may want to give in to some advice and think, well, this might be too broad. It's going to affect my current situation so much that I won't be able to take care of, sustain my day to day. I was in that situation as well. I was in a situation when it came to basketball. I had a chance to be a walk on a pro team to see if I could make that team. But back then, in the early 90s, there was no guaranteed summer money. And at the same time, I had a brand new baby, my son, my oldest son, and I had responsibilities and bills. And I had to make a tough decision. Do I chase this dream and gamble and potentially be out on the streets because we had nobody to fall back on? It was me, me, me. Or do I go ahead and, get back into running my company and build this up so that I can sustain and take care of my family? Very tough decision, but I chose my family over basketball. Okay. So there are situations where you will make a judgment call, right? Do I have any regrets over not going out there? Yes, I do, but they're not as strong as they would have been because I became extremely successful at what I did. And what I did was still within my passion. I was passionate about marketing and I was also passionate about sports. So I still was in my passion. So for me, it wasn't a real hard pivot. It was still something that I love to do. Still to this day, I'm a great marketer. That's why I've got 10.5 million people following all of my collective accounts if you add them all up. I'm a great marketer, right? I know how to deliver a message and make it spicy, viral, polarizing. I know how to put it out there in so many different ways that it catches eyes, eye grabbing, the sound grabbing, right? I know all these different tools and tricks that the mainstream uses to get myself out there. So there are times when you have to do that, okay? But you want to be able to affirm your vision every single day. It's really important because I remember when I was going through this process with the web company and everything was getting really dicey in the house. Matter of fact, she left. And I was like, oh man, this is bad. I just kept affirming myself. I felt like I was on the right track. This is going to help me fulfill my dreams and my goals. And I just stuck to it for myself. I felt like this is one regret I will not be able to live with. And I didn't leave. I stayed in the same place. I never left. But she did. So it is what it is. She didn't have enough faith and belief and trust. After seeing so many things I had accomplished already, I don't even know why there was even a doubt. But in some kind of way, that doubt crept in. That old programming code, right? That fear, it crept in and it tore a rift between us. It just happens. You have to find your tribe, man. That's what it really comes down to. Back then, I didn't have a tribe. I had nowhere to turn to, nowhere to run, nobody I could talk to. So what I had to do is I had to start putting myself in locations and places where people that were making big moves were. And so eventually, occasionally, I would get some good conversations going. And I do have some good contacts that I made along the way. It took years to build up those kind of contacts because I would go sit inside of a Starbucks in a rich neighborhood. I would go sit inside of a Einstein's Bagel in a rich neighborhood. Over time, I would start connecting and getting these connections and these great contacts and networking basically. But it took a long time to build up even just 10 quality people through that method. But even they weren't like hardcore, I can just call you at 3 o'clock in the morning or, check in at 7 o'clock in the morning, or they would, follow up with me tomorrow at noon and see if I got something done. It was more along the lines of bounce something off of me, let's talk. What ideas do you have? How can we collaborate? That kind of thing. Not bad. I mean, at least it was something. I did get a lot of great ideas from these men and women, but I'm just saying it's a lot different now that we have the virtual world because in the Forbidden Knowledge Academy, there are now over 760 people in there, all rooting for you, all on your side, all wanting to uplift you, all wanting to hold you accountable, all wanting to check on you and see what you did, all wanting to see you sign your declaration, post it, print it, and post it in the group. Everyone wanting to hear your testimony, everyone wanting to see if you've done your your different things for the day, like your dream board, your declaration. Have you done your affirmations? All the little things that you've been told to do throughout some of the training modules. Have you done them, right? And so all the exercises that we give you, they want to see, did you get the exercise done? And if you did, you're going to get positivity out of it. You're going to get somebody patting you on your back and saying, fantastic, you did a great job. Thank you for posting this. Whereas at home or at work, it's cricket chirps. There's nobody there. There's nobody. You have to find your tribe. And that's why we created a virtual tribe, a place where you can actually go and you can be held accountable, but you can also get support, which is the most important thing. And plus, I teach in there every single week live, and I do live Q&As every single week to talk to you directly and give you answers to your questions. This is really important. So I recommend that everyone, please go to the link in the caption of this video or this audio, the link in my bio or in the live chat, and click on the Forbidden Knowledge Academy link and just go in there. It's your tribe. Your tribe has arrived. If you've been waiting for a tribe to be a part of, if you've been waiting to join a tribe that's going to support you and listen to what you have to say with open ears and an open mind, Forbidden Knowledge Academy has arrived. It's incredible, over 100 hours of incredible modules and classes that you have to graduate to those different levels along the way, and more being added all the time. So I highly recommend you join the Forbidden Knowledge Academy. Click that link, and I'll see you in there very soon.